Using the home white, Virginia in the road blue and orange. We are underway in the Dome. A top 6 matchup in the ACC. And it's the orange who dig out the opening face-off and set up shot in quarter last Saturday against Duke.
Prior to that game, he's had an amazing season, 3-year starter. How he starts this game is critical, though, because he allowed 7 goals. He had 0 saves in that first quarter.
Dispossessed, and Virginia could start the clear with Nunes. The dude's 3-0 against the orange in his career for Virginia. And Lars Tiffany made it clear, he's our starter. That's the guy we're going to ride. Cavaliers push it in transition and open the scoring. Peyton Cormier, defense to offense. You can't do it any better than that.
What they were missing last week when Nunes was pulled was his ability to start the clear. He's a great passer, and Ben Ware, 44 in blue, triggers the transition with the long pole. And then when you give it to Peyton Cormier on the backside, it's automatic. The heavy dose of the pick game, Virginia offensively. Schellenberger and Millen are constantly picking for each other. How Syracuse plays the pick defensively will have huge implications in this game.
Virginia very aggressive early. Their defense is dialed in to start this game, Paul.
That's where Cole Kastner broke onto the scene early in his career.
Mark got a piece of it to deny Cormier. Cormier scored from that exact spot to open the game. Mark way out of his cage. Virginia again gets the ground ball. They've been all over the 50-50s to start. Sam Alexo trying to come up with this one for Syracuse, and he's a threat to score. Dispossessed from behind.
You've seen 2 trail checks by Virginia defensively. One by Shea, who now has to capitalize and test that matchup.
And it feels like Virginia has started this game opening 5 minutes with a point to prove defensively after they got lit up by Duke for 18 goals last week. They have been very strong to start this game. Connor Schellenberger, number 1 in blue. So good! Stings the corner! Connor Schellenberger!
I mentioned moments ago, what will define this game defensively for Syracuse is how they play the pick game. Schellenberger gets a pick on him 9 times out of 10 when he's dodging, and he's so smooth and smart to know that he's shot ready. Once he comes out of that pick, he knows the switch. In a battle, it's 3-on-3, fighting relentlessly for these ground balls.
And you come to expect it in this rivalry game, Syracuse and Virginia, but they're battling for ground balls like there's 10 seconds left in a tie game in the 4th quarter. They're doing it from the start. Syracuse has attempted 4 shots, none have made it on goal. Michael Leo going to work. Dumps it off on the doorstep, cashed it in. Christian Muley pulls one back, an instant answer for the Orange.
This is incredible awareness by Michael Leo. Ben Ware falls, he knows then Virginia's on red alert. They have to show, so Muley's man comes upfield and leaves him on that backside. 1-on-1 with goalie Matthew Nunes, and when Christian Muley's 1-on-1 with the goalie, as Uncle Ray would say, case.
When Glory Days was going in the encore. That's the first mistake Virginia has made on offense today. They've been pretty good, and they win it back. Cormier, how good is he? Peyton Cormier blows it right past Will Mark. And Cormier and Schellenberger, the first 3 goals in this game for Virginia.
He's born to score on the left side. No one has hit the back of the net more in Virginia history than 24 in blue. Peyton Cormier. Scott's got his hands free. He's got the Who's cranking. By Alexo. I'm seeing they are sliding quick to this guy right here, Griffin Schutz. He's gonna have to be a passer today. Watch how quick they go off of his dodge. They're gonna show and he has to pass. You see the double team? It's right there.
Good ball movement. Will Mark there again. Reading the ball well in this first quarter. That's his third save. Scramble for the ball, and it's going Syracuse's way.
And Griffin Schutz can make his presence felt. Even if he's not on the score sheet as an assist, you saw it's going to be pass to a shot like that Virginia's going to have as high. So he's a strong passer. If they support the matchup, he can thread the needle.
Has it here. Tried to thread the needle, and Virginia saw it coming.
This is dangerous. Ware is legit.
And it goes in. Will Mark got a piece of it, but not enough. You just said it. Ben Ware is legit. He showed it off in transition, and it's 4-1 Virginia.
Virginia, air traffic control. We mentioned the big bodies. Ben Ware scoops that up, takes it himself. That is Ben Ware coast to coast. A lot's been said about Jake Pacino from Albany.
Des Schellenberger, Cormier trying to win it back. Finally, Figueres digs it out for Syracuse, and now the Orange can run in transition.
It's a good check by Figueres on Schellenberger. He's got the matchup.
Hilt spins his way free and scores! Owen Hiltz!
The spin and shot, ouch! Carter Rice gets the ball. Riley Figueres with the check. The whirling dervish of Owen Hiltz. The wrists, the awareness to play off the body. The bench feels it.
Now this game, as it often does, has a good pace to it. Haven't had many settled possessions. Here's one for Syracuse. Can they capitalize? Trying the quick stick finish to no avail. English couldn't get it right.
That was the look. Finn Thompson found English on the backside.
That's so hard to time. I know a lot of guys make it look easy. And Syracuse steals it away once more.
This game is, you're starting to feel it's going to be. He's got a little bit of a quirky style, right? Sometimes he'll squat low, but his top hand is so explosive. You see him make that save.
Going right to goal!
What a shot by Wyatt Hoddle. This guy is shot out of a cannon. If you talk to people around the program, one of the fastest players on the team. He uses his jets here. Started the season as an offensive midi because of injuries. Had to play short stick D midi. But you get the transition. Offense off the win.
Stevens, so much speed. Sends it back. Back-to-back goals for Syracuse. Luke Roa buries it.
I mentioned moments ago the two-handedness of Luke Roa. Mark it down, him shooting with the right hand right here, because you can see the same torque and trajectory with the left hand. This time he plants his feet. He's got the torque, and he is not trigger shy. Wise, they didn't have that big signature win. They beat Denver, but you wanted to see more than just one big win for the Blue Devils to put them in that top four, and they got that last week.
And it's the way they beat Virginia, right? They manhandled them. 18-12 left, no doubt. And now Virginia trying to respond on the road after a loss.
So Notre Dame was a a game I thought from start to finish, the Irish dictated the tempo in that game.
Michael Leo, perfectly placed, and the sophomore fires Syracuse in front.
You know what's interesting, Jay? A lot of times as a sweeping midfielder, I've always told young guys, never stop your feet, shoot on the run. Well, Michael Leo knows he has so much time coming off that initial pick, and he's got no pressure, that planting his feet will allow him to... With Luke Rowe and Michael Leo and Finn Thompson, all sophomores.
The future's bright for Gary Gay in this program, but they want the present to be bright as well.
It's a great double team by the defense. Sam Alexo plays strong fundamental defense, and then the defense, where that first slide and passes is coming from. That's where Schutz has to be at his best.
Syracuse again! Make it 5 in a row for the Orange. Muley, his second of the afternoon. And it is all Syracuse right now.
You got to play in the gray, you got to play in the chaos. Maybe the smartest player on the Syracuse team. Lacrosse always pushing the game in a positive direction.
And you wore the number 19. Was that because of Paul Gate?
Yes, I loved the number 1 when I was in high school and youth lacrosse, and when I had a chance to come to Syracuse, they weren't giving me 22. So 19 was open. I'm like, how could I not want Paul Gate's number?
One of the best to ever do it. You said he's the second best midfielder to ever play the sport.
The toughest thing for Paul was he played with the best lacrosse player ever, the best midfielder ever. It happened to be his twin.
Virginia needed that. Griffin Schutz delivers. That ends the 6-0 Syracuse run. And the Cavaliers, coming out of the Lars Tiffany timeout, go to their junior midfielder, Griffin Schutz.
Yeah, he's the guy. He can beat you and run through you with brute force at 6'3", 225. No arm pads, just an old school grinder. I mean, just runs through this check too. And Sam Alexo. See the physicality and the hard checks by Schroeder. 49 in blue against Spallina.
Spallina's been, for his standards, relatively quiet in this first half. We get our first flag, and it goes against Virginia, so it'll be Syracuse on the man up here.
Sir, 39, 30-second technical.
I would. Syracuse 22 man-up goals behind the back to the doorstep. Michael Leo, the finish. Picture perfect passing, and Michael Leo, an easy finish, and Nunes is now allowed 8 goals without a save.
We saw a ton of this a year ago, right? The skip pass to a BTB to an easy finish. There's some deception. The through pass is backbreaking on an extra man. When you can make that, that was excellent short stick defense by Sam English on McCabe Millen.
Schellenberger always picks the perfect pass. Millen, the cutter, and Virginia pulls back a big goal there to cut it to 2.
This is exactly what the pick game does for you. Because Schellenberger comes out of the pick. Look at all the white shirts. The eyes are on him to support him and slide. But he knows he could be hesitant and be a passer, because all the eyes are on Shell with supporting the matchup in sliding.
Cohn wins it cleanly, and a save made by Matthew Nunes, his first in 2 weeks. Great pass, Schellenberger, Cormier! That's a hat trick for Peyton Cormier, and Schellenberger back-to-back beautiful assists.
When we were talking about the ability of Matthew Nunes and what he brings to the offense, this is an easy save right to his stick. But what he does is he triggers transition. He's such a good passing goalie that it allows the Cavaliers to play in here because he has a short stick. This will be a quick slide by Syracuse.
Schellenberger tried to do it himself that time, denied by Mark. Dwan in the corner, and now Mark will start the clear for the Orange. Both teams have had success in transition. Hiltz dumps it off. The patience pays off. Matt Wright buries it on the doorstep. And the Orange back up by 2.
Owen Hiltz has been tremendous in the early offense. The patience. He thought he was going to shoot at first, but then he hitches and gets to the top side across the middle of the defense to become a passer to a long pole, and Matt Wright
feeling pretty good. He could have let that fly.
His IQ is his next level. Sees through a defense and just understands when to push, when not to. And he's not a pulled out type dodger, but
Schellenberger on the run. You can't do it any better than that. An instant answer from the future 4-time first-team All-American.
And he was a first-team All-American his freshman year as a midfielder. And it pays dividends late in his career, sweeping across the top of the Syracuse defense on the run. That is a midi dodge through and through. And he played one game in 2020. So those are real points, the points per game record, the overall points at Virginia. He owns it all.
He shattered it all. And he has dragged Virginia back into this game. Syracuse had all the momentum. Schellenberger, 2 assists and a goal during this comeback.
And that's not a typical turnover by Joey Spallina.
Cavaliers an opportunity to tie this game at 9. Schellenberger, he's feeling it! Connor Schellenberger ties it at 9. A hat trick in this first half to go along with 2 assists.
He's putting on a show. Do you remember the last shot? It was upper corner. This time he shoots with the same locally.
Amazing. So he owns a steakhouse, but his son Lars is a
vegetarian.
well-known vegetarian. Well, the restaurant, the first ever salad bar in the continental U.S.
Wow.
There's a tidbit for you.
I can't tell you how big of a fan of a salad bar I am. Like, I could actually pick what I want in my salad.
Under 20 seconds left of the first half. Lars Tiffany's Virginia team looking for the lead. 7 seconds left. Schellenberger tried to feed Colsey, couldn't connect cleanly, and Syracuse gets a defensive stand to finish the first half. Now, 2 teams that will begin their postseason push with this game. Bullseye to the back of the net. How about the freshman McCabe Millen fires Virginia in front to start this third quarter.
It's a big-time play by the freshman Millen, and if you're Syracuse, you need to crowd him defensively. He's too fast from a straight-line speed perspective. You got to crowd him. What I mean by that, Jay, is get into the body of Millen. Make him operate in a phone booth, almost like the opposite of how you would defend Peyton Corbin.
Schellenberger on the run. Picks the perfect pass again. Everything but the finish. Mark swatted it off the line. And here comes the Orange.
You remember I said the wizardry of Jack Boyd?
Long first half for Syracuse. Hiltz, lefty! Owen Hiltz stings the corner to tie it at 10. Wow.
High heat. Some top cheese. Look at the wrists. I mean, that is all wrists. You can't teach someone how to shoot like that, Jay, because you need the wrist to do it. And Owen Hiltz, an aggressive defender, sometimes overcompensates and will fight and overextend through a pick. So at least I would try that part of the matchup too, because we haven't seen it. We haven't seen Spallina getting a pick at X.
Syracuse back in front. These two teams trading punches in a heavyweight fight. Finn Thompson puts the Orange up 11-10.
We talk a lot about picks and how it offers an opportunity for the ball carrier. This one offers an opportunity for the actual pick man. It's Finn Thompson. He picks and he slips. He is so good at that. If you watch him on tape, right, he almost looks like he's going to pick, and then at the last second he exits the pick and he rolls out.
Quarter. A rivalry that seemingly always delivers an explosive, exciting matchup is writing another one. Back-to-back goals! Jake Stevens buries it! Two goals in 13 seconds for Syracuse.
This is what Mason Cone can do for you. Plays the whistle. Stevens, I mentioned, with English play a lot of reps. But when you have a wing guy that you can keep on for instant offense, he's not racing to get off the field, Jay. He's staying on the field. These guys are racing all up and down the field, and they get gassed.
And Virginia's depleted in both categories.
Yes.
And now we get a look at the best man-up unit in the country. 23 man-up goals on the year for the Orange. They are 1 for 1 today. Not a great angle there, but in perfect position. A scoop and score for Finn Thompson. Right place, right time, and he finds the back of the net.
What do Canadians do in box lacrosse? They crash the boards. It's rebounds left and right. They just know how to play a rebound a lot better than an American-born player because of the second chances. Wow, that went off of Stevens' body. I thought originally Nunes made the stop. Ouch.
Oh. Did you give Stevens the assist?
He's got something to show. Giving him different looks and prohibiting him from getting into a flow against one player.
Syracuse up 16-10 at the face-off X today. Nunes, nice save. And now Virginia can run in transition. They've been great turning defense into offense today. Stolen from behind, Jake Stevens all over that one. And now it's the Orange who will run. Matt Wright, already a goal today, passes off, give and go, and Wright wasn't ready for it. Back and forth we go.
This guy can go to the rack, and they'll keep him on too.
Picture perfect. McCabe Millen strikes, and Virginia turns chaos into a goal.
They like to play fast. They're risk takers. The ball movement is epic. Cormier, Schellenberger, freshman Millen, top shelf. Don't go. I mean, if you watch his highlights from when he was at Tufts, he did some of the most ridiculous stick fakes, goals, deceptive passes.
The D3 National Player of the Year for Tufts, and he's fit in with this Virginia program, proven he can do it at a high level. Schellenberger, he's been incredible to watch today.
They played that pick game well. They gave Figueres 11 White a lot of room to get through.
Schellenberger, 3 goals, 3 assists. You have to keep an eye on one in blue at all times. Has it here.
You think?
That's 11 for Syracuse's goalie today. Battle for the ball. Everybody's
feet.
No points for Spallina so far this afternoon. Here's Heltz. Deflection. And now Noon sends it out quickly. Ben Ware, already a goal today. But Virginia deciding to slow things down, kill the Syracuse man up, get back to even strength.
Ben Ware's logging some minutes. You know where you can spot him too? With the all-white cleats. I saw him pregame. I was chatting with him for a while.
Those are sharp.
Yeah, he likes to be a little different with his footwear. Walked over to Dick's this morning and picked up a pair.
Virginia kills the man up, goes down the field, and makes it a one-goal game. What a momentum swing in the third quarter.
That's Joey Terenzi. Played a lot of short stick defensive midfield, and then had an injury where he's out for a couple weeks, but as a high school midfielder, he scored.
He joined us in the booth in a really close game. Virginia with the ball, trailing by 1. Special day, special conversation with that man who changed the sport.
Can't thank him enough for what he did, what Gary did, pushing the sport, inspiring those generations from the Powells. Then it ended up being the Thompsons, now the Kavanaughs and players like that. It's just amazing.
Schellenberger, a perfect pass again. You can't do it any better. Will Corey the finish. Schellenberger's 5th assist, and they've all been beauties. That one ties it at 14.
You can't give him this kind of time. He's got the shorty again in Wyatt Hoddle, the freshman. And once again, what happens when they use the pick game and they get the switch? Syracuse and Bill Dwan has to go to support it, but you leave your...
All tied at 14, 11 minutes remaining in regulation. What is going to separate these two teams down the stretch here? Shaking free, Ryan Colsey fires Virginia in front. Son of Syracuse legend Roy Colsey, going against dad's alma mater, delivers a beautiful individual effort.
Ryan is a high school attackman with a lot of box lacrosse background for an American. Sells the defense on the fake and then gets underneath. No slide. Harry and Paul are the best of all time at the midfield position, not even just in Syracuse respect, but globally. Roy Colsey is a top 5 midfielder ever at Syracuse, but there's a flag down.
Well, Gobriel took a big hit. Schellenberger scored the goal and put it in the back of the net.
The whistle and the timing of the whistle is interesting here.
Because Gobriel took the hit. I think the officials threw the flag. Will the goal stand is the question.
I think they blew a whistle prior to, I think he's talking about the Billy Dwan hit. So Gobriel comes down, wins the faceoff. Watch 35, slides. That's to the head. Now, the way that the game is being played and how fast it's happening, is it, you know, that's not to the head if Gobriel doesn't slip, though.
Right.
Like, he's falling down prior to the hit. If he's standing up here, there's no malicious intent here. This is not to the head. You see how low he is, and then Gobriel slips here. He slips actually before the contact. Like a fraction of a second before the contact. They don't clear as well as the starters. And if the penalty's over, they don't match up as well as the starters. But the concept, I love it. The buy-in of the week, making this their identity. I get it.
Virginia cashes in. And it's Colsey again. 2 big goals in this fourth quarter for Ryan Colsey.
The Junkyard Dogs left the lot open. And the finisher here is Colsey. Crisp passing. Jack Boyden behind the cage. The righty passer, the lefty finisher. Look at the placement on that shot on a righty goalie and Will Mark. Ryan.
Sam English in attack mode. Can't shake free. Has to pass it off. Stevens. Exactly what Syracuse needed. Stevens delivers out of the Gary Gate timeout to cut it to 2.
The timeout was a must. The wheels were slowly falling off the bus. Michael Leo attracts some attention. Stevens on the short stick. The slide's too late. You know what I love about this move, Jay? He gets underneath a lot like Colsey did. You don't have to be overly creative here. Get Connor Schellenberger the ball. He's not going to make a careless mistake.
No.
And if you use a pick, you could get a shorty on Schellenberger, and then he's just dealing late in a shot clock scenario.
A whistle blows play dead. It's going to be Syracuse ball.
I'll tell you what, there was some
to a 2-goal lead. Hiltz. What a save by Nunes! But he spilled it. It stays with Syracuse. Nunes scurries back to his cage. And Hiltz with some high heat over the top.
10th in the second half by the embattled Matthew Nunes. Like, if you don't have respect for this kid and what he's had 7 goals against today, the same thing. He's seen a flurry of shots, and he stepped up with incredible saves in critical moments. Matthew Nunes, take a bow, young man.
And Lars Tiffany wanted a timeout. He wanted everybody to know it. He has been active over on that Virginia. Gary Gate, his team trailing by 2 with the ball. Syracuse has been excellent out of timeouts today. Trying to cut this lead in half with under 5:30 to play in regulation. Sam English goes to work. Passes off, perfectly placed. Finn Thompson buries it in the bottom corner. And it's a 1-goal game.
I got a new name for this young man. It's not Finn Thompson, it's Slip Thompson. He just slips picks like it's his job. Like he knows exactly what he's doing. You see him up and down, bopping up and down, and he knows he's gonna set a pick, but he's gonna slip it more importantly. And the timing of the slip is what makes it rain. He knows. He knows. We've got
9 points, 1 shy of a career high. Schellenberger looks at the shot clock, sees he has 18 seconds left.
Goal scorer in program history staring down Will Mark.
Schellenberger stolen away. Syracuse's defense delivers. Under 2 minutes to go. The Orange with an opportunity to tie it. Spinning free. What a save by Nunes. Ball's loose. It's back of the net to tie it at 17. It's a scoop and score. Billy Dwan, the close defenseman. A miraculous goal to tie it at 17.
This is amazing lacrosse end to end. The turnover late in the shot clock, Sam Alexo in transition. I don't know how Jake Stevens gets this off. The save by Matthew Nunes, amazing. The shot, ridiculous. Billy Dwan has scored 3 goals this year as the Syracuse. In the fourth quarter, the faceoffs, Virginia 6, Syracuse 3.
A spectacular goal by the close defenseman, Billy Dwan, has tied it at 17. Gobriel tried to get it off the faceoff.
No
That's
backup.
Virginia didn't have the backup.
Deep into this game clock.
Well, all season it's been the cardiac Cuse. 3 of their 4 losses have come in overtime. Can they finish this one in regulation? Under a minute to go. English gets free and scores! Sam English fires the Orange in front.
Grad transfer from Princeton. They brought him in for moments like this. He catches it in the instincts to plant a foot and get to the middle of the field and completely change your angle. You see 3 shirts that couldn't handle that plant foot. He catches it, he drops his foot to the turf, and it's go time. Staring at a beautiful
Billy Dwan, who scored the goal to tie it at 17. Risky crossfield pass, and the goalie Nunes gives Virginia life. All Syracuse needed to do was hold the ball. Will mark the save. 3 seconds left. Syracuse survives.